host of the Gridiron.
Right, good old Malik. He needs 4 catches for another milestone, right? For another Giants milestone. So he's going to want to ball out. Now, obviously, he's certainly been getting a bunch of reps right now with Locke. So, the Eagles secondary, is really, really good. Their secondary is very, very good. But with their backups in there, right? Malik's had some playing time, obviously with Locke. Look for Malik maybe to end on a high note, without question, because I'm sure we'll be able to throw the ball against the Eagles. But so we're coming off a stellar game. Malik Nabers needs 4 catches for the Giants' single season mark, and also that not only single season mark, right? But he missed 2 games too. But also to be fair, right? Steve Smith did. He did in 16 games. Let me just let me just see here. I want to make sure. 2009, New York. Yeah. I think he played every game. Let's see here. Steve Smith. Yes. He played in 2009. Steve Smith played in all 16 games. He started 15 of them, but he played in all 16 games. Okay. He had 157 targets. He had 107 receptions for 1,220 yards. Unfortunately, after that, this was 2009. It just, you can, oh my God, you could stay in there for 3.5 months just rattling off good players that the Giants had, or receivers that the Giants, tight ends, even not Jake Ballard, who wound up injuring himself. I think it was an ACL. I think it was in Super Bowl 46, never played again for the Giants. Jeremy Shockey, Hakeem Nicks, Arian Manningham got banged up, Steve Smith. Obviously Victor Cruz, Odell Beckham Jr. How many times he got? You could just go on and on with the injuries the Giants have had. Flexible Bar shoots himself in the leg, basically, finds a tank in our 2008 season when we were the best team in football. It's just unbelievable. But Steve Smith had that magical 2009 season. He was just always open. 107 receptions. So he played in all 16 games, but Malik has missed 2. So even though this is a 17th game, right, this would only be the 15th game that Malik played in. Now Malik has had, oh my God, I wish he had $1 for every different injury he had. He had a toe, he had a concussion, he had a groin, he had a hip, he had 1 or 2 other injuries. It was always something with the guy. But he goes out there, he's a dog, he balls, he throw me the ball, right? He catches the ball. He's doing a lot better. Toward the beginning of the season, right? He had some drop issues. Remember the first game against the Commanders where he dropped the ball on 4th down and hit him right in the chest or whatever. He could have gotten out of bounds because we didn't have a kicker, so we wouldn't have to score a touchdown. The ball hits him. It was 4th down and 10. He picked up 11 or 12 yards. Hits him. He drops the frickin'. It's like, dude, you kidding me? So could have beat the Commanders, but once again, the way the season's been going, it is what it is. But so Malik's only played, this will be his 15th game, where Steve Smith had 16 games to play. But I think the following season was, when Steve Smith got injured, because if you remember, when 2011 rolled around, right, we had the Super Bowl. You think about it, if we had Steve Smith, we had Victor Cruz was like an afterthought, right? Victor Cruz's 2010 season was derailed due to injury, but man, if we had Victor Cruz, if we had Steve Smith, Mario Manningham, Hakeem Nicks, holy cow! What the? Oh my God! Could you imagine that? But I guess it was 2010, I think, was when Smith wound up getting injured, and basically his career was over after that. It was just such a shame. Such a shame. I mean, young stud, young talent like that and all and everything. He was never, never wasn't a guy that you can just hit over the middle. He's going to take it for 80 yards or something like that. But he was good. It was always like, that, especially that one season, 2000. It seemed like he just found cracks and creases and crevices in the defense, and you just hit him, and you just catch it and just move. He was a chain mover, right? So let's see here. Whoops. Oh, and also that too. He's in a very, very impressive rookie class as well too. We'll go over that in just a second. Well, the Giants has been obviously been a major disappointment. Receiver Malik Nabers has lived up to the hype. The number 6 overall pick in the draft has delivered again and again and enters the season finale against the Eagles, 4 catches shy of breaking Steve Smith's single-season franchise record of 107 receptions set in 2009. That team finished 8-8. The Giants, 3-13, have struggled mightily this season, playing on one of the worst NFL's worst offenses. And somehow he's only 4 catches shy, 4 receptions shy of breaking the team record, right? He has been the team's top option in the passing game. Quite possibly, right? If you give him enough targets, he might have 110 receptions. Quite possibly, but been a very, very impressive rookie class. Malik Nabers spearheads the most impressive rookie class in NFL draft history as far as receptions. For the first time in NFL history, 4 rookies, Malik Nabers, Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas Jr., and Ladd McConkey, have all surpassed 1,000 receiving yards in a season. Let's not forget, McConkey was taken in the second round, right? Because they took Alt in the first round, McConkey in the second round, right? But then again, they have a very good quarterback throwing the ball. Brock Bowers does not. Malik Nabers does not, right? So, but with Nabers' electric 171 yards on Sunday, the former LSU Tiger now has 104 receptions for 1,140 yards, which marks the first time a Giant wideout has strung together a 1,000-yard season since Odell Beckham Jr. did it in 2018. But what's more incredible about Nabers' amazing rookie season is that he, along with 3 other rookies in NFL this season, all have 1,000-yard seasons. That has never happened before in the history of the NFL. So kudos to all those guys. Fantastic receivers. From tight end Brock Bowers of the Raiders, wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. of Jacksonville, and wide receiver Ladd McConkey of the Chargers to Malik Nabers, these players have put together rookie seasons for the ages. As for Nabers, he is paving the way for this group of stellar offensive playmakers with the most receptions and receiving yards this season. Because let's not forget, Brock Bowers is a tight end. Okay, Brock Bowers has 108 receptions. Malik Nabers, as far as wide receivers, by far, he is. Brian Thomas Jr. has 80 receptions. Malik Nabers has 104. So Malik Nabers has even missed 2 games. If Malik Nabers didn't miss those 2 games, he'd have, 110, 115 receptions right now. He'd be going for 120 receptions. But Malik Nabers is certainly on pace for, I would have to say, if the Eagles are putting their backups in there, all right, Malik Nabers should hopefully, knock on wood, get to 110 receptions. Because a lot of it with Malik is not so much predicated on, drop back the pass, let's get that good protection in the pocket so the quarterback can stand in the pocket for 3.5 days, wait for Malik to hit a post pattern, 50 yards down the field, then we'll gun it. That's not what we do with him, right? A lot of short stuff, right? I mean, the couple passes that he caught went for the touchdowns, right? Against the Colts. The one was, my God, it was almost a lateral, right? But I mean, the other one was when he split the two defenders on the right-hand side. I mean, that was whatever, 10 yards down the field. So, I mean, we're not throwing a ball far down the field, though. It's kind of like get in there, look for Malik, find him, get it out of your hands, and get the ball to him. Let him do his stuff, right? So, I mean, especially if the Eagles are playing their backups in the secondary, look for Malik Nabers. Hopefully get at least 6 catches, right? At least get 110 receptions. I said he still missed 2 games. It just goes to show you. So as bad as this season's been, breath of fresh air certainly has been Malik Nabers. And look, he's doing it with Daniel Jones, Boyle, Tommy Chicken, Cutler, Parmesan, and Drew Lock. Could you imagine if we had, I mean, I know I'm asking for a lot, but a good offensive line, really good quarterback. Could you just imagine? Huh? Right? And then throwing the ball to Malik Nabers, what we could possibly do. Right, so Malik was a mighty fine pick. We're going to need another good pick in the first round, too. But Malik, without question, was a fine addition to this New York Giants team.